Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a very interesting show for you. All right, the Vols are hosting a lot of top recruits this weekend. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk all things recruiting. If you watch this channel, you know I really enjoy recruiting, and it's so important. It's the lifeblood of your team, and without it, you don't really stand a chance. So obviously, every weekend that you can bring in these top athletes is critical. So let's get into who all's in Knoxville this weekend. This is a real good article on the Vol Report by Shane Pickering. It says Tennessee football who's visiting Knoxville. And of course, it starts out with Chris Cole. He's a guy that we're really trying to get. He's a big-time four-star linebacker, really fast. He is a teammate of Peyton Lewis, who is the fastest running back in the country, in my opinion, and we've already got him committed. Obviously, picking up his teammate would be huge. We have had a lot of success coming out of the state of Virginia. Last year with Cameron Seldon, I think that guy's going to be a monster. And now we've got Peyton Lewis, another speedster. And if we pick up this guy, we'd be pretty golden coming out of Virginia, and that would be Chris Cole. This guy's an excellent player, and it looks like it's between us, Georgia, Miami, and Virginia Tech. We've got some other commits that are in or people that are looking at it. Jeremiah Hurd, I've covered him. The guy's a freak athlete. He's only played football for 1 year, and he's a guy that could play either side of the ball. He could play defensive line. He could play an offensive tackle. He's kind of a project dude, but he's got the frame to be a tremendous player. We do have a three-star in from North Carolina who is Denos White, 6'6", 350 pounds defensive tackle. He's not nationally ranked, so I'm not sure exactly where he'd fall. Here's a big-time recruit. This is 2025, Zion Grady. He's one of the top he's basically a five-star. They've got him as a 4, but he's ranked 33 nationally. So this would be a huge get for us, and you got to start early on these guys if you want to get them. So he would obviously be a huge get. Here's another 4-star. He's an Ohio State commit. He's almost a 5-star. He's a safety, and that's Jonte Gilbert. And the Vols have been after him, and they have not given up on him. They'd really love to pick him up. Now, here is a critical dude, Cameron Sparks. This is a must-get for the Vols. He's a Tennessee guy. He's a 5-star athlete, linebacker-type player, 210 pounds. He's a must-get. You know, we don't get very many 5-stars in the state of Tennessee, and he's number 38 nationally on Rivals, but I think 247 has him as a 5-star. We just don't get a lot of them. We have 2 5-stars in the state of Tennessee for 2025, which is extremely rare, and that's George McIntyre and Cameron Sparks. We need to get both those guys. Now, there is another option at quarterback besides George McIntyre, and that's Deuce Knight, who is another possibility and a guy that wants to come to the Vols, who I think would be Hendon Hooker 2.0, only a little faster version, but George McIntyre is a great player, and if you get an opportunity to get a 5-star out of your home state, you take them. So either one I would be happy with. But Cam Sparks, we got to get this guy. And I know the Vols are going all in on him. He's a big-time blue-chip recruit, playing out of Baylor, Tennessee, an athlete. He could probably play several different positions, but I think linebacker would be ideal for him. Then we got a guy out of Texas who is calls him an all-purpose back. He's 5'9". He's only 170. He's ranked in the top 100, so he's obviously super fast, and he's in for the weekend. Now, here's a fella that is an outside linebacker. It's Christian Jones, 4-star, top 100 player. They say Nebraska is the favorite for him, but he is in Knoxville. Now, we got Jalen Morgan, who's a 2025 athlete, 4-star, basically a top 100 player, and he's out of Tennessee. So another big-time get for us. Yet another top 100 player, and we're starting to see more and more great athletes come out of the state of Tennessee. Nashville area is a big part of that. Nashville itself is anywhere from 1.3 million up to 2 million people, depending on the area around it. And it's becoming a big-time hub for some great athletes. And a lot of athletes are actually moving there. So Nashville could be it's probably the most important city for us as far as athletes and recruits. So this guy is another very important player for us, Jalen Morgan. Here's another guy, an almost top 100 player, Chauncey Gooden, 6'4", 315 pounds, out of Nashville, offensive guard, 2025. Another must-get. You cannot let top 100 players get out of your state. Here's a guy out of Winter Garden, Florida, 125th, Ivan Taylor. It's a cornerback. This is a guy we'd love to get. It's not going to be easy to pull him out of Florida, but he would be an excellent get for us. Here's a guy at Atlanta, Georgia. That's only a few hours away, 130th nationally. Juwan Gaston Jr., offensive tackle, 330 pounds, 6'8". Ideal offensive tackle. So, I mean, we're working hard for this 2025. Here's another guy out of Nashville, 141st in the country, 6'3", 265 pounds, defensive end. I'm going to tell you what, Nashville is putting out some real players. Here's another guy to Chattanooga, and that's where Boo Carter comes out of, and that's Martellus Carter Jr., and you see Boo Carter mentioned right here. And it says Jr. is another name to know in state. He said he's been up to Tennessee multiple times already and is close with current Vols commit Boo Carter, who is one of our strongest recruiters. And, of course, we picked him up. They've got him ranked 50th in the country. That guy is going to be special. If you've watched any of his highlights, he is so sudden. I mean, he is on you like that, and he will knock the crap out of you. I think he's going to be a fantastic safety for us. Here we've got another guy out of the state of Tennessee, 179th, a high 4-star, Eli Owens. He's a tight end, 220 pounds, 6'3", excellent size. Here's a guy all the way from California. He's a top 200 player, Lamason Waller, 6'2", 165. I'm assuming at that size, cornerback or something along those lines, or maybe a safety. Let's see where they've got him listed. Michigan's out in front for him. We'll see about that. Here's Donovan Johnson out of Florida, 4-star, top 200 player, a running back, 6'2", 210. Man, I'm telling you, that's the typical guy that Florida gets. One of those big, tough, strong running backs that are anywhere from 200 to 220. They're usually got a whole backfield full of them. So we'll see. He may end up at Florida. Jordan Young out of North Carolina, an athlete, 165. I would assume cornerback or safety on him at that size. He's actually a relative of Byron Young, so that would be nice to pick him up. We've obviously got a link to him, top 200 player. Here's Jalen Mosley out of Jackson, Tennessee, 220th in the country, real strong 4-star athlete, 190 pounds. Sounds like probably going to play safety if I had to guess at that size. Then we've got some guys out of, this guy's out of Baltimore, Maryland, 4-star, 222nd in the country, Carlton Smith, inside linebacker. I mean, there's a bunch of guys in Knoxville. All the way down here's a bunch of 3-star guys. There's so many. I'm not going to list every single one of them. So as you can see, Knoxville's chock full of blue chips that we're looking towards for some for 2024, several for 2025, and we're already working on that class. And if you end up getting those 2 5-stars out of the state of Tennessee, which is George McIntyre and Cameron Sparks, when's the last time we had 2 5-stars out of the state of Tennessee? I can't remember when that happened. I don't know that that's ever happened. So if you get those 2 guys, you're already sitting there with 2 5-stars. That would be fantastic to make sure we end up in that top 5 in our 2025 class. We need to get in the top 5 there, and we've still got a very good chance at being in the top 5 for this class 2024. Because if we could pick up Cam Franklin, and we're leading for him. We are leading for him. He's in Miami right now having had a barbecue. But he is a 5-star defensive lineman out of the state of Mississippi. That's a guy that I believe he's planning on committing sometime fairly soon. It might be in the next few weeks. Hopefully we could pick him up. That would really juice up our numbers and get us real close to top 5. Probably put us right into top 5. Also, Jordan Ross, 5-star defensive lineman. We got a real good shot at him, and he's out of Alabama.
Alabama!
Would it be nice to pull a 5-star defensive lineman out of Alabama? We already got Mike Matthews, 5-star wide receiver out of Georgia. So, yeah, if we start pulling 5-stars out of those states, those teams are going to have real problems with us, not only in recruiting but on the field already, as you know. We're becoming a real hassle. And when they go to that 12-team playoff, we're going to be a perennial problem for every team that has to face us. Now, Monday, we've got Bennett Warren, who's going to be committing. I don't have a time frame on that. I'm probably going to go live on that for the first time. I wanted to go with the last 3 recruits that committed, or one that didn't, but I've had work issues or I've already had plans.
I was unavoidably detained.
So I might be able to do this one Monday. I'm going to try to.
Always with you, it cannot be done.
But Bennett Warren's the 6'7", 330-pound, big-time 4-star offensive tackle. and he's a true offensive tackle to go along with Satterwhite. Be a great pickup for us. So we'll see how this plays out, but I like our chances. He said when he visited Knoxville, that was his favorite visit by far. So that's a really good sign. And he also said that Coach Heupel told him that he was a need, not a want. They really want this guy. So Monday we'll find out about that. And also Ryan Wingo had just been in as well, another 5-star wide receiver. If we pick up 2 5-star wide receivers, I don't know that anybody can stop us. I really don't. Nico back there. You're going to have Jake Merklinger. You've got Gaston Moore. You know, an embarrassment of riches is what it could be. All right, folks, just wanted to cover this weekend a little bit, talk about some of the recruits that are in, and hopefully Barney's going to keep us from getting jinxed Monday, and we're going to pick up that excellent offensive tackle and maybe even Cam Franklin over the next few weeks. We'll see.
Winkum, Pinkum, Notimus, Rex. Protect us all from the man with the hex.
If you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover the Vols, recruiting, SEC, all that good stuff. If you've not subscribed, it's on your right, my left. Doesn't cost you a penny, helps me out. I would certainly appreciate it. And right over here's the most recent video that YouTube thinks you'll love. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.